Hello, everyone. On today's episode of Twirl, we have our first guest. This twirler has been on the Canadian National Baton Twirling Association's World Team 5 times. Most recently, this athlete and her team received 2 silver medals and a bronze in the teams division in the WFMBTA World Championships in Holland. Here is Sydney Ward.
Hello.
Hey, hey, Sydney. Thanks for joining today. How long have you been twirling for?
I started twirling when I was 3, so I guess now we're going on like 16 years. Yeah.
Nice. And your mother's your coach, right? Or
Yeah, she's one of them. I started twirling with my mom because she has a baton club there. And then when I was 8 years old, I started training with Kelly Russell, who's my coach now. But my mom trains me still as well.
yeah. Let's start from the beginning. Where did your baton twirling journey start from?
Mostly I was kind of just brought into baton because of my family. My mom twirled when she was younger, and she started coaching at a young age. And so, of course, when my sister and I were born, we were put into baton classes, of course. When I first started twirling, I think I only twirled for a year before I started competition. My mom would just put me in like, marching and solo stuff like that. I grew up doing a lot of teams as well as individuals. I've always loved being a part of a team just as much as twirling by myself. And yeah, ever since then, I've just kind of been going. I made my first world team when I was 8.
Nice.
Um, and kind of just, yeah, I've kind of just been on that journey ever since, and I still love it. I twirl in college now, which is like my favorite thing.
I
But
see
yeah, it's
videos
going
all
good.
the time. Like you're enjoying yourself down there.
Oh, it's the best time. It's the most fun.
Now this is personally one of my favorite questions to ask, and everyone does like it. What's your favorite competition snack, and do you have any competition rituals?
Ooh, favorite competition snack. I'm a big like candy person,
Ah,
especially at competitions. I'm not too big on eating like a huge meal while I'm competing. I tend to get sick. But I really like peanut M&Ms. Those are my favorite. Um,
oh,
hmm,
yes.
yeah, those are good. In terms of rituals,
um,
I don't really think I have any really.
no, yeah. Um, no, I wanted to know what it felt like receiving your first ever Grand National title.
Yeah. So my first Grand National title I won when I was 9, um, which I don't actually really remember, to be honest. I just remember I had won my division that year, in my solo. I think solo was the only thing I was advanced in. Um, and I did my Grand National solo. My mom was just like really happy that I even like won my solo division. And I don't remember being nervous at all. My mom was, I think, more nervous than me. She normally is. Um, but I
Um,
remember my solo was all right, but I guess they really enjoyed it. So I won that year. I just remember my mom like losing it. She was really like freaking out, and I remember like going on the podium and holding the plaque, and the plaque was like bigger than me. Um, yeah, my mom was like,
yeah.
I didn't even know what I won really. I was just like, okay, sure.
No, I love seeing your mother's reaction at competition. It's just you can tell there's a connection there with you guys.
Oh yeah, she's invested.
Yeah. Um, Now here's a question that I find like athletes, I know I struggled with this a long time ago. Over the years, have you ever like had struggle of losing faith in yourself or feeling that you weren't good enough at what you did, and how did like you overcome that?
Yeah. So actually, this past year, I think I struggled with that the most than I ever have. At least in competitive twirling. Like I said, I loved twirling in college, so I've never felt like weird that way. But I remember going into Worlds this past year, I was just feeling really like down on myself. Like, I don't know if I can do it. And I had high expectations for myself, placement wise. And I was having a hard time like in my training, like getting my routines to where I wanted them and knowing that they weren't good enough to get those placements that I wanted. But at the end of the day, it took a lot of support from my family, my coaches, and my friends. Just the constant reminders that I'm not in baton to win a bunch of medals. You know what I mean? I like twirling because it makes me happy. I like being on a team because that's where all my best friends I get to twirl with. And going into Worlds, I just remember many people telling me, like, just go and have fun. And if it happens, it'll happen. And if not, no one's going to be disappointed in you. And no one is expecting it from you. Like, you're your hardest critic on yourself. And so I went out there and just did it for myself. And I think I did probably the best performances I've done in a while when I was just
I
twirling
was
for
watching you
fun.
guys from here, and I would say that was one of your best performances.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun.
I thought you should have got higher, but
It's
yeah,
what
no,
it is.
yeah, no. I did watch you guys at the award ceremonies, and I seen it on the athletes rep page where when you guys found out you were in the top three, you guys all were screaming and you were so happy. Now, what and when that happened, what was your mindset when you found out you were in the top three?
Yeah, well, to be honest, in that video, I don't know, you can like see me kind of just like kind of pacing in my head in the corner because they flashed scores that year at finals. So we kind of had an idea of where we placed, but they flashed them before penalties. So in the twirl court, it's kind of hard to like figure out how many penalties because there's so many people on the floor. And so we had actually guesstimated that we got fifth based on the scores. So I was sitting there and everyone was like hoping that maybe we would like crack fifth, third. But I was like, I just have a bad feeling that we got fifth. And so I'm waiting and they're like announcing and they get to fifth and I was like, oh, we weren't fifth. And I'm like, oh, I bet we're fourth. I was like, oh, geez.
I would have just been crazy.
Yeah. And then when they said fourth wasn't us, that's when I lost it because I was like, oh my gosh, like that was what we had been working for all year and it
Your
finally
mother
happened.
must have been crazy when she found out you guys.
Oh, geez. I wasn't even looking at her, but I know she was crying afterwards because we saw her and she came down, but she was probably jumping up and down and screaming like
She
she
puts a
does.
lot of work into the team and just into the organization.
Oh yeah, yeah. We at the award ceremony at the end of the day when we had like our celebration dinner, we gave her and our other coaches a medal too because
Oh,
we had
oh,
extras and they deserve it just as much as we do.
oh yeah, no, they definitely do. Um,
Hmm.
Now I I seen and heard you got selected to go to Peru. How was that?
Honestly, it was definitely like a trip of a lifetime. That's for sure. It's kind of like hard to explain when people ask me like why I went or how I got selected. I don't really know. To be honest, Kelly had introduced me to Kathy Harris, who runs the trip, and I just kind of talked with her for a little bit at one competition last year, and then she reached out to me in August and kind of was just asking for my information. And so from there, I kind of knew I was going. But basically, what it is it's working with the Lions Club of Peru, and they just host this big spring festival every year because that first like week of October is like technically their spring season. And they get to select 10 baton twirlers, or this year they selected 10 to come and be like ambassadors at the
Yes,
festival. So we got to attend like a bunch of cool ceremonies. We like met the governor. They had like
nice.
their Queen's coronation we got to go to, as well as we got to like perform for a bunch of people. And we got to travel to like some old folks' homes and some orphanages and perform there, which was really like, that was really like rewarding for me to see, I guess, like all those kids and people get brought together just by like baton because we couldn't speak to them because they spoke fluent Spanish and I don't know any
I just
Spanish.
got the goosebumps from you saying that. So
Yeah, but they were all those little kids were just like thrilled to see us. They just wanted to like dance with us and twirl, and that was really like touching for me anyway.
no, yeah. Hmm. Now, will you compete in a lot of competitions this year, or do you have any that you want to do?
Right now, I'm not sure which competitions I'm going to yet. I'll probably be attending some in the spring though, for sure. I think there's one in January I might be going to. It's called Nash Twirl, which is only like 2 hours from my house here in Memphis.
I heard about
So
that
I'll
one.
probably be,
Also,
yeah,
because
so
it's
I'll probably be
Romania.
going there. Yeah, with Romania canceled, that one is probably going to be bigger this year. I think I'm going to Congressional Cup for sure. And then in May, I'll be back home in Canada. So whatever kind of competitions they're holding there, I'll be attending.
Now, will you be trying out for the IBTF World Championships this year?
Yes, I am.
All right, because I was going to, but I'm not. So,
Oh, you're
yeah.
not?
No,
How come?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna try out for the freestyle championships in 2024.
Okay, nice, yeah.
Yeah. No, I regret it not trying out for the Holland one. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, thank you for coming on to our today, and
Of
I
course, thank
hope we
you.
have you on here again.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah. No, thank you.